It's your boy back with another Remedy game. Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're well. Brightness, huh? Hey, Nick, what's up?
Fair warning. This is gonna be weirder than usual. Can't be helped. You called me. So here I am.
Yeah, school, I'm not a fan of school.
I know I shut you out sometimes. I'm always glad to hear from you. It's just that I get my hopes up. So many times it's led to nothing.
Nothing.
I found nothing. It's like we live in a room and there's a poster on the
You don't have to
wall.
listen to this. This is drivel.
We stare at it and we think that's the whole world. The room and the poster. The picture's something nice. A landscape, a famous person. Like in that movie, what is it called? The prison movie.
She's thinking of Shawshank Redemption.
The room's a cell, and the picture, it's different for each of us. It can be beautiful or terrible, but we're all transfixed. But it's all a lie. Something to distract us from the truth. They're lying to us. We're lying to ourselves. The room's not the world. The world is much bigger and much stranger. There's a hole hidden behind that poster that leads to the real world. We all feel safe in that room. But sometimes something crawls out from behind the poster. And the ones that see it happen freak out and try to forget what they saw. I'm here.
We sure are
Why
here.
did you bring me here? Hello?
Alright, I wanted her to finish her
Anyone here?
monologue before I interrupted. Sorry, I was reading chat. You said, how was my Overwatch stream earlier? It was pretty good. I won 4 of my tank placements. Then they snubbed me. They completely robbed me of my 1300 SR, and I got 1200. You probably don't know what that means, but I got screwed over after winning most of my tank placements. I lost both my support games and stopped playing. Well, I stopped playing on stream. I kept playing off stream. What if Alan Wake is writing this story? That would make a lot of sense. The story's pretty weird. Hopefully he's got a better editor than the last one. Yeah, for real. What's up, Steven? How are you doing? That police game looked really interesting. Let me make sure the sensitivity isn't all effed up. Federal Bureau of Control reminder: certain objects are not allowed inside the Bureau. Recent incidents have necessitated an issued reminder on prohibited materials. Unauthorized weapons, pagers, laptops, smartwatches, smartphones, smart gaming devices, anything smart, number 2 pencils, any object considered What? Any objects considered iconic representations of archetypal concepts, e.g., rubber ducks and ketchup bottles. All materials under Bureau investigation is to be brought through private entrances. If you see any lobby personnel in breach of these policies, please notify your superior immediately. Any collectibles in here? This is one of the games where reading the collectibles is actually fun. The lore is pretty good.
This seal. I saw it a long time ago. I keep seeing it in my dreams.
Expenditure summary, executive sector, Q2, major staffing, surveillance, redacted, data center initiative, construction, redacted. Okay. Now this is just a bathroom.
Federal Bureau of Control. All these years I've been looking for them and they were hiding in plain sight.
Just chilling. I can't even read this. Federal Bureau of Control. Attention all. A shark in his, although secure. Permission to. Basic protocol. Shoot to kill. Good luck. Okay. Ooh, I got an achievement. This game didn't have achievement when it first came out. Hello. As you all should know by now, the R4 reports are due by the end of the week. We are still waiting on them for a number of people. If you need an extension, please request an RE form. This is some nonsense.
Hello? Hey,
Sup?
excuse
There you are. You are here about the job. Janitor's assistant. You need to go to the interview.
That's totally not why I'm here.
Go that way to the elevator.
Thanks. Elevator that way. Got it.
Very good. I'm Ahti, the janitor, by the way. You'll work for me. You can say I sent you. If they don't hire you, they you are no helvet. There be work for the axe. Take them behind the sauna, jumalauta.
What?
I've done enough night shift loner jobs to know it makes us come off weird. Ahti the janitor is a friendly face in my book.
Better than somebody with no face at all. Think about it. No face.
But that said, I know what you're thinking. If there's an axe murderer around, that's him.
You can apparently read my mind, so I probably shouldn't have thought that. Wait, what? There was an elevator here before. That's interesting. Do you know what the gist of this game is? Well, basically, the character I am right now, they haven't revealed it yet, but I mean, it's not really a spoilers. I'm looking for my brother, because we were involved in something, and they took him into this building for some reason. I just found it, and now I'm here to look for my younger brother.
The cell and the poster. I was 11 years old the first time I saw behind the poster. They told me I imagined it. I've been trying to pull it down ever since.
The
Will
building.
you help?
Oh, my bad. the building we're in right now, they're called the Federal Bureau of Control, and they investigate paranormal activities or something like that. Basically, any weird shit that happens in the world that shouldn't be, they investigate it. So, you know, if there's a typewriter that makes stories come true and alters reality, they should be investigating it. But I guess they missed the memo on that one. Story by our guy Sam Lake.
Did I lose you there for a moment? You know what's on my mind. My baby brother, Dylan. 17 years since the men of this bureau took him.
No clearance. You know, for a government building, this place is pretty unguarded. Federal Bureau of Control. Reminder reply drafting any public-facing material. While pending any notifications of death related to the Willow AWE, please adhere to the following guidelines. Words and phrases to use in the service of her country. Regret, proud, pride will be remembered. Words and phrases to avoid: Alaska, scissors, blood, bleed, loss, apology, sorry. Don't apologize. It's a sign of weakness. These guys get it. Trench, do not disturb. Barbara, I'm not to be disturbed. Cancel all my appointments for today. For the rest of the week, I can't trust them, Barbara. Not a single one. Trench. What was that? Why Alaska? I don't know.
Shit. Shit. You want me to pick it up?
Oh no,
Weapon?
a dead body.
Really?
Anyways, let's pick up this gun.
And there goes the poster.
Objects of power can cause or be results of AWE's altered world events, intrusions upon the perceived reality. Now, the service weapon is, of course, a prime example of an OOP, a very powerful one. Ingrained in the Bureau's DNA, a key component in our prime candidate program. Come out of that Russian roulette a winner and you're it.
She's trying to activate her persona, pretty much.
This place. Where am I?
Objects of power can cause or be results of AWE's altered world events, intrusions upon the perceived reality. A side note, remember to cover their connection to the astral plane as well. Now, the service weapon is, of course, a prime example of an OOP, a very powerful one. Ingrained in the Bureau's DNA, a key component in our prime candidate program. Come out of that.
Why do these people look real? This is
winner
live action footage.
You're
the graphics aren't that good. They like Remedy likes to put live action footage in their games. Bubblegum Polaroid, all none of the above. That's correct, Ward. These are concept tattoos we see in our mind. The service weapon. It has many forms, like a house prison you can occupy. Oh, that was a joke? Sorry. Vita Melee. There it is.
The same gun.
Pick it up.
Okay. Now I have a gun.
That's correct. The only thing that trips me out about this gun is that you can't reload it. So it's like I always press R and it just switches the shoulders. Alright. How's my aim? 50%. So when I always see low ammo, I always press R and accidentally switch shoulders. Come on. No. I'm aiming right at him. That was a good punch. It's like a psychic power. What am I aiming at? Maybe that guy's just out of range or something. In my defense, I haven't played this game in a while. We wield the gun. The board appoints you. Congratulations, director.
Something's coming. This threat. An attack. Duty as director. Keep the Bureau safe.
Did you hear that? It's the dead man. Right after the pyramid spoke to me, and it was just noise, and I understood every word. And this gun's alive. You know what? I'm happy. Happy to be here.
So...
Things have quieted down outside. Is it safe to go?
Safe to go? You're not gonna wonder what happened here? See, they said I was the director now, right? So this is my desk now. Anything I should know? Okay.
You can't let this happen. 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 You stopped it. You... Oh, thank you. That was... horror.
After you finish your first playthrough, you're gonna be completely corrupt on your second one. I mean, that's how it goes. You gonna get the second one? Is that one on PlayStation? Discard. Blah, blah, blah. She tripping? Yep. But I had help. Don't worry. I'm fine now.
The hotline. Secure line of communication. Guidance. Reach the hotline.
The hotline, says the dead man. Okay.
I'm so not used to not having any powers yet. Come on. I'm not sure if it's on PlayStation. The game looked really interesting. Is it a free game this month? It still freaks me out. For Marshall's eyes only. Wow, I'm not Marshall. Marshall, we checked out the suspected AWE in Duelith. Wasn't anything just like the house fires before this and the malfunctioning clothes dryer before that. My team's getting pretty sick of these duds. We need to find a better way to sweat out the fake AWEs from real ones. Or you need to rotate field agents off for a bit. Anyways, we're en route to Sherman Ranch. Next one on the list. Hopefully it's a little livelier over there. That didn't seem too confidential. I don't know why they want anyone else seeing that. House memory.
The hissing sound that tried to invade me earlier. The hiss. Burrowing into everything in this place. Is the hiss your enemy? Alright, it's our enemy. That babble's contagious. It burrows in like an infuriating melody that makes you hum it over and over.
It's like that song from Regular Show. Summer lovin', lovin' in the summertime. How to handle unscheduled visitors in the lobby. Start with the following. Welcome to the Federal Bureau of Control, established in 1964 as part of the efforts to strengthen government relations. We are proud to serve the United States and her people as we strive for transparency and excellence in all aspects of our esteemed nation's infrastructure. If they do not leave, ask them these questions. Are you here to see someone? Are you from New York City or just visiting? How'd you find this place? If their answers are sufficiently harmless, explain that this is a secure federal office and that they'll need to leave. If their answers seem redacted, escort them to a private room. There perform Gardner's psychological assessment, and if their responses are within acceptable ranges of deviance, then redact it immediately. There's no such thing as too suspicious? Okay. What is this? What is this? Game. Okay, that's kind of funny. I guess I'll just wear this cart. Urban Legends. Not gonna read that one. I'm gonna look stupid all game. Or at least until I die. Alright, I lost it, good. Oh, damn. They must put me on a shirt, hold up. Uh-oh. Damn, I can't get over to the health without... They're gonna instantly open fire the second I move. Uh-oh. Damn. I shouldn't have hesitated. I should have just ran to the health. Alright, that was my first and only death of this whole playthrough. Bet.
hissing sound that tried to invade me earlier. The hiss. Burrowing into everything in this place. Is the hiss your enemy? Alright, it's our enemy.
Must cleanse control points. An enemy. Corrupt. Spreading them.
Don't worry, I got this.
Cleanse the control point. What does that mean? Help me fix it. Holy shit! You did it! We did it!
Hello? Can you hear me? Are you with us? With the Bureau?
Yeah,
Are you still sane?
I'm new.
I can't tell you how happy I am to talk to somebody sane.
The feeling's mutual. Yeah, I'm Pope, Emily Pope, Dr. Darling's assistant.
My turn. Should I lie?
No cap.
Jesse Faden. I'm just visiting.
I should have lied.
Oh shit! You're the new director.
Correct.
Hold on, we're coming out.
Director Faden.
Call me Jesse.
Okay, Jesse. I'm Emily. Look, somehow this hostile force, this...
Hiss?
that works? Somehow the hiss managed to infiltrate the building without any warning.
And just like that, my name for it is official. The hiss. Like the sound of poison gas leaking in.
We're in full lockdown. It seems to have spread everywhere and to everyone not protected by an HRA. And, extraordinarily, you. You are the director, and that makes you special by definition. Trench is no longer the director, obviously. I'm sorry, I'm talking too much. This whole situation is just a lot.
Trench is dead. Shot.
Ah,
I found his body. And the gun.
Do I tell her it looked like a suicide?
the service weapon.
Also, and this can sound crazy, but he keeps appearing to me, saying things. It's hard to make out, but he told me to cleanse the control point, push the hiss out. The whole room shifted around.
You did that? And you entered the building when it was already in the lockdown before you became the new director? How?
I'm not ready to tell her about you yet.
A janitor let me in.
I love it. This is fucking unbelievable.
What's going on with your hair there, Emily?
I can't even... Look, Jesse, I have a million questions, and you probably have a million more.
Like, do you know my brother Dylan? Not yet.
But there's something I need to ask you to do first. If you can cleanse a control point, then you can maybe cure those infected or possessed by the hiss. Because if that's possible, our options are very different.
Emily Pope. I don't know her, but I like her already. She's the opposite of the faceless agency I've blamed for what happened to me for so long. But I can't trust her yet. Or rather, the Bureau she's a part of.
Yes. I can try.
I'm speaking for you, of course. We can try it together. Okay. You with me? We did it before. Push the hiss out.
How is she the new director? When I picked up the service weapon, the gun. I can't use it in here. When I picked up the gun, the board made me the new director. When we were in the astral plane, that's what was happening. Confusing, I know. So this stuff possesses people and makes them evil, right? Maybe it's like, maybe it's related to the darkness from Alan Wake. Whoa, she disappeared.
It didn't work. The hiss has burrowed too deep.
The hiss manifests in human hosts in numerous ways. The most common and least intense form is seen in many corrupt agents floating throughout the Bureau. The hiss agents have maintained their human appearance, undergoing no obvious physical transformation. The most notable distinction from an unaffected human is that they levitate. These hiss display no aggressive behavior and only seem interested in vocalizing the strange incantation ad infinitum. Never heard that. Perhaps these vessels are only meant to propagate the hiss corruption, like spores or Wi-Fi boosters. Are they a cocoon, perhaps entering the next stage of evolution? When attacked, the hiss disappear, perhaps entering a state of invisibility, undergoing a transformation into a purely resonance form.
Ripping it out rips them apart.
Where'd you go, Emily?
Jesse, over here.
Ah.
We need to make a plan, Jesse.
I can't cleanse them.
I saw. It was worth a shot. Thank you, Director. Jesse.
So,
I'm gonna tell her why I'm here.
does job
I'll
have any
risk it.
benefits, like health
Listen.
insurance, dental?
The Bureau was involved in an incident in my hometown, Ordinary, 17 years ago. The Bureau came in and covered the whole thing up. I've been looking for this place for a long time.
That's enough. Maybe that's too much already. I can't tell her about Dylan and the rest yet.
I've seen mentions of an Altered World event case dealing with Ordinary. You were at Ground Zero as a child? It was one of the big ones, and before my time. And very classified. I can try to dig out some old files for you. My boss, Casper Darling, would know, but he's missing. I think he knew this was coming, or suspected. He came up with the HRAs, the Hadron Resonance Amplifiers. I think they're what saved us. Or a few of us. And Director Trench would know.
Trench, the ghost, or whatever he is, he mentioned something called the Hotline. Said I should find it.
It's another object of power, like the gun, an old Bakelite telephone. A direct line of communication between the director and the board. Maybe he can talk to you more clearly through that. I mean, Trench has years and years of experience. He might know how to destroy the hiss.
Where is the Hotline?
It's kept in the communications department through the mailroom. It's part of this sector, so we can access it even with the lockdown in place. We'll get the door open for you.
Okay, that's my next stop.
That's Tomasi's department. He's head of communications. I don't think he had an HRA. He kind of made a point about not wearing one earlier. Keep an eye out.
He's probably dead then.
They call me the director. But that's not me. I'm not a director type. I'm not a leader. Why am I here? I think you already know. Yes, I came for my brother, but there are other reasons too. I said I was looking for answers, but I might never understand them. I'm not looking for proof. This is already it. More than enough. No matter what they told me all those years, I know it's real now. I didn't imagine this. I want to be a part of this world. What scares me shitless is that I finally found it. Only to see the hiss destroy it all.
That was just unfortunate timing. Hold up a minute there, players. Is she a little too young to be a director? Hey, bro. She looks like she's like mid-20s. She's...
I know this is all new to you, so don't hesitate to ask me anything you want to know. There are no stupid questions.
Alright, I'll ask you everything.
The door to the constable. The hotline should be in the communications department.
I heard that already. I'm gonna ask you about the director.
This Trench guy. I keep hearing him in my head. Is he a ghost? Haunting me?
I doubt we're talking about a ghost in the traditional sense, but an echo maybe. See, if he was killed by the service weapon, your gun, maybe it's his final thoughts recorded by the bullet in his brain, like a deep space probe sending back data.
That doesn't make any sense.
That's just a hypothesis on my part. I need the gun to research it. But you better hold on to that given the circumstances.
I think I will. Yeah.
The oldest house.
You mentioned the oldest house. What is it?
This building, the Bureau headquarters, the oldest house, is a shifting place. You've seen it. It transcends its physical limits.
I've been to New York a few times. How didn't I notice this place?
It's an attribute of the building. This is a place of power. The oldest house doesn't like attention, so unless you're purposely trying to find it, you don't, which is perfect for us.
That reminds
The
me of
work
that spell
we do
from Harry
here
Potter.
is essential, but unstable. The Bureau prefers not to be noticed. And we need strong walls to make sure nothing gets out.
So without you, I never would have found the front door.
Okay. Can you tell me what an object of power is exactly? This is all, well, new to me.
Don't worry, I love going over the basics.
Nerd.
So objects of power are mundane objects that house paranatural energies and have developed a link to the astral plane and can thus be controlled, which is what differentiates them from altered items, which are still housings of paranatural forces, but are more volatile and cannot be bound in the peri-utilitarian sense. Got it?
That was useless.
Did she memorize this?
Got it.
No.
Thanks.
That made no sense whatsoever. And I've played this game before.
Thanks, Emily. I'm sure I'll have more questions soon.
Just let me know.
Alright, communications. You have no idea what's going on? So basically, there's a supernatural force while we were visiting that happens to have invaded the building, and it possesses people.
There it is again. A welcome message.
And in order to stop them, we're gonna look for this thing called the hotline, so we can talk to the previous director. I finished the game. I finished the base game. I never played the DLC. Come on, I don't have clearance to this. It's level 1. Oh, poor dude. Travel cost, not interested. Okay. Or not.
Yes, it's overpowering here. You don't want me anywhere near it. With you on that.
It's Alan Wake with the SCP Foundation, and the main character is a woman, pretty much. I'm looking for my brother though instead of my wife. Oh yeah, they had an update that made the map way better. Dead letters. Singing fish. Mr. Governor, I called the police, but they never came to my house. I got a problem. You gotta send folks to fix it. I got my wife one of them singing fish on the walls. It's not a real fish. It sings when you hit a button, but it's got the devil in it. It flies around at night and sings devil songs. Says a lot of cuss words. The devil got in my house because of the fish, and can you come and handle it? My wife is real upset. When can you come? Sincerely. Weirdo shit likes to happen here, I see. No. Come on, come on. Standing still in combat makes you an easy target. Keep moving to throw the enemy off. I mean, that makes sense. Are we freezing? Yeah, I think we froze. Don't you hate when this happens? Yeah, end the task. I know it's not responding. Game went pretty much. There we go. I was prepared for such an event. It's a little embarrassing for that to happen on a stream, but you know, whatever. Sherlock Neptune. Now, I used to play Skyrim a lot, and that would always crash. And the thing is, I couldn't alt tab out of it to close it. So I looked it up, and it was like, oh, just make sure the task manager is always on top. So when you get it, continue. Back like we never left. Let's get it. Bro, Skyrim on PC would crash all the time.
There it is again. Our welcome message.
Hold on. Options. Display. Okay. Hold on, actually. I'll put that back to high. I wonder if 8080 strafing works against computers. Can't touch this. What's this? Energy renewal, never heard of that. Communication. Oh, that was dead letters. I went the wrong way. Oh yeah, this place is sealed off, so I guess I have to go the other way. Unlike in Alan Wake, though, this headshots do work in this game. What the hell? Was that a shotgun? I don't have any powers yet. This feels unfair. Right. Make everything back to normal.
Communications. We're on the right track.
Is that blood? What the hell? Jesus Christ. What's that janitor been doing? Welcome to the comms department. What the? Alright, I'm interested.
Object of power. Looks like the hiss have latched onto it. We need to cleanse it.
This reminds me when cars would throw themselves at me. Don't worry, I'm on my way to cleanse you. Floppy disk. The floppy disk nuke can be bound to gain launch telekinesis. That's what I'm talking about. Teach us to believe, director.
It's harder to hear you when I'm here. It's like the channel's been changed. The board's in charge here. They're pyramids in the Bureau seal. Are they really the ones pulling the strings?
Yeah.
I'm not their director. I'm no one's director.
Hold on. That doesn't feel right. Wait, interface. Oh, it's not here. Gameplay. I finished this game before. When it came out last year, I played it. Wasn't really paying too much attention to the story, though. It kind of lost me. God damn it, Jay Wolf. Reading your comment made me fall off the thing. So wait, she has force powers now? Well, yeah, the object of power I bound to myself does. And now I do too. Boom. Throwing it. Oh yeah, I'm a weakling. This is the beginning of the game. In case you guys are wondering, this is the astral plane. The ability gift burden is mine now. Where'd you go? Boom, dead. The noise hiss is burrowing into our astral plane secret base. You must mute them, stop them, director. Not a problem. Hate the player, not the feds. I was reading his comment, so hey.
There you are. You were gone. Cut off.
Let's see here. Service weapon. No unique procedures required. The object's form is variable. When bound, the object allows the paralleline to blank. This object must only be bound by individual seeking the role of, I'm guessing, director. The object will determine whether, if I'm worthy, I'm guessing. If rejected, the applicant is terminated. Damn. This process is dictated by the board, I'm guessing, though their criteria is unknown. Background. This object was discovered inside the oldest house in the room that is now used as the director's office. The office. The popular hypothesis, many forms throughout history, Mjolnir, Excalibur, Viren Nostra, all weapons that redacted of their wielders. If objects of power are the convergence of forces, blah blah blah, no one cares about that. The object is an 8-inch disclet, no one cares.
Off. I got it.
Needs to stop
Just
doing
like
math.
you wanted, right? This will help me find the hiss.
Makes you guys think she's on meth. I don't have that power up yet. the big leagues now.
Emily said that the hotline can be reached through the mailroom.
I'll look at that in a second. Let me cleanse this control point. Level 1 clearance.
This must open the door.
Jeez, what happened to this guy? What happened to your mouth? Yeah, something tells me the agents of this bureau don't get paid enough for this. Tomasi.
They can fly now. Great.
Damn. What'd I even get hit by? Come on, loading screen, you can do it. You're almost there. I died again. I said I wasn't going to do that.
They can fly now. Great.
They fly now? They fly now. Where's this bitch ass at? Tomasi, where'd you go? Oh, come on. That last time was a fluke.
They can fly now. Great.
You got mail. goes with this thing. I'm just gonna throw it at him. He dodged it. Hey, bud. I'm trying to find a boss here. Guys that steal their HP. Oh, he hit me both times? Did I leave anyone dead around that I can... Oh, shit. I'm like one shot right now. Is there a chance I can run out there and grab it before he kills me? Nope. Oh, yeah, I did it. I did it. Then I immediately lost my health again. I need encouragement, chat. Believe it. There we go. That's perfect. Actually, I have an idea. Fast travel. Central executive. Let me see if I have enough to upgrade. No, I can't even do that yet. I have this mod though. Energy from headshots. Sure. So every time I grab something with my telekinesis, I'm gonna try to make a plan out of it. So be prepared for that. It's gonna suck a lot, but I mean still.
They can fly now. Great. Concrete. Looks like you're grounded. I can't think of anything. So I'm gonna be Spider-Man, pretty much. You got mail. I already used that one though. I guess that's not. I used it though and it missed, so. Take a seat, buddy. Oh, I missed. I can't see.
Ah, I should go up to the second floor. Not sure if there's more cover up here, but I mean, definitely more help. Oh, I beat him. Didn't realize his health was that low, but it all works out in the end.
I have a feeling he'll be back.
Yeah, probably.
Let's stay focused. The hotline should be past the mailroom.
I know when that hotline bling, it can only mean one thing.
Alberto
Tomasi.
Head of comms. The Hiss got him.
The situation in Cuba has been evaluated by the relevant authorities. The mysterious illness affecting the staff at the U.S. Embassy in Havana was caused by sonic weaponry in the hands of a foreign power. Numerous personnel have damage to the inner ear, but most are expected to make a full recovery.
Not all of them, just most.
Of course, the event also damaged their cellular walls, but we can't blame that on some stupid noise gun. Thank God no local doctors examined them first. Honestly, what are the odds an altered item would show up inside a U.S. embassy? Talk about good luck, huh? So much easier to... Hey, are you still recording this?
I can't believe you got caught up like that.
The hotline can't be far now.
See hotline security logs. The only other people who come in here other than the director are just janitors. Alright guys, prepare yourself. It's about to get weird again.
The Ocean View Motel and Casino. Green logic. The light switch cord. Door marked with the Black Pyramid.
Law 3 applies.
Have we been here before?
Door at the Black Pyramid.
No.
It doesn't open.
I've stayed at a lot of roadside motels across the country. On the road, on the run, under the radar. This feels like all of them, like something recognized from a dream.
Hello? Anyone here?
Ah, keys.
Key has a black pyramid on it.
I'll just let myself in. There we are, the bridge appeared. The hotline is a transmitter. The director can call the board. I have to do a challenge to answer a stupid phone? Come on, guys. Hotline will allow you to contract extra-dimensional entities. Of course it does. I can't do anything to it. No! What the hell? Well done. You can contact us or past self. What am I, the Avatar?
It is a phone. It's an object of power. It doesn't connect to any typical network. A direct line to the astral plane and the board. And my hypothesis is, under the right conditions, to other planes of existence as well.
A director needs a team. My management team. These people know the secrets of the Bureau as well as I do. Some even better. Darling, Tomasi, Salvador, Marshall. Marshall especially, my head of operations. She sees right through me. She knows I don't like relying on people. The only person you should fail is yourself. But things change when you become
like
director.
Why is my nose bleeding?
I have it. The hotline. I can reach Trench. Well, listen to him. He feels more like an echo. An echo with important info. I need to get back to Emily. People react strongly when I tell them about you. Is it too soon to tell Emily?
The door wasn't always there.
She might be able to help.
He doesn't believe in fairy tale power-ups? Nah, no, he does not. The only person you should fail is yourself. Same time, he says a director needs a team, so... my office. They cleaned up the body, but not the blood. Huh. You can't get good help these days. Level 1 clearance, I have it now. What's in here? Agent death notification. Dear Mr. Potts, I regret to inform you that your son, Graham Potts, was killed in active duty this past week. While details surrounding his death are classified, I'm honored to tell you he died in the service of his country. You can be proud of his courage in the face of danger and his commitment to protecting our nation against our enemies. He will be remembered by his comrades and colleagues. I sincerely regret the pain this message will bring you. Take some solace in knowing that his sacrifice helped protect the country he loves so much. His efforts will be returned. His effects will be returned to you with all speed. Sincerely yours, Howard J. Murray, Deputy Chief of Communications. Speak to Emily. there a way we can remove these freak shows out of here? Jesus Christ. Look at this mess. So how are we doing, my employees? I don't think we discussed whether I get paid for this job or not.
Jesse, did you get the hotline? I mean, how is it out there? The comms, the hiss? Sorry, you made it. I'm glad.
I didn't make
Emily?
it. I had to try 5 times before I beat that boss. Not reading that.
Let's talk.
Of course.
Oh yeah. I half want to listen to these, but I half don't want to bore you guys with the world building and stuff.
I got the hotline. I can make out what Trench is saying now.
Incredible. What did he say?
He talked
Say,
about his
gather a
management
crew.
team. People who
Become
knew
king of the
Bureau's
pirates.
secrets. Your boss, Darling, Tomasi, but he's gone. He is gone. Salvador?
He's the head of security.
And Marshall?
Helen Marshall is head of operations. She's tough, ex-CIA. She took her Rangers and went to the research sector to secure the HRA production. She hasn't come back.
Someone who could help us. The other sectors. How do I get there?
It's impossible because of the internal lockdown. You can perform a directorial override to lift it, but that can only be done in the maintenance sector. Normally, you take the sector elevator down there. It connects all the sectors, but it won't work while the lockdown is in effect.
We already got past one lockdown.
Maybe I can find a way.
Jesse, look, with no prep, no training, in this extreme situation, you are doing
Well, I am the
phenomenally
protagonist.
well. And all that and the hiss can't seem to affect you. I mean, I would love to run some tests on you. If you agree,
What kind
that
of
is.
test?
We could find out something that would help us.
Tests. I don't know. She might find out about you.
Just make sure she doesn't try to strip you naked.
But I wouldn't mind understanding more myself.
Okay. If you think it will help.
Great. I'll check the internal documentation for any lockdown bypasses. We need to get these sectors open to locate Darling and Marshall.
And I'll look for a way inside the maintenance
Like
center.
no probes in these
The
tests,
sooner we
please.
find one, the sooner I reach this override.
The game keeps getting weirder and confusing if you don't pay close attention, at least for me. It's actually pretty straightforward. It's just a lot of weird stuff happens.
Do you hear that? Someone's singing. Where's it coming from?
I'll go look.
Singing. It's usually not a good sign.
Singing. Sounds like it's coming from the elevator.
Objects up to 20 feet.
I'm right here.
We've never recorded any distance over 5. Obviously, you never read the P6 data.
Come on. I can't flex on these guys. I can't use my powers. There we go. Upgrading. Health. That's an immediate upgrade. You happy you get to watch some me before some classes tomorrow? Hope you're not working yourself too hard, man.
Time to work. Meet me in the maintenance.
I mean, who are you giving orders to? I'm the director here.
Like I said before, the janitor is a friendly face.
This just new, you gotta get used to it. Okay, man. You also have a job that you have to keep up with? I remember keeping up with a job and homework at the same time was the worst part of my college experience. But then again, I always hated homework, so. Even without the job, I hated doing homework, so. I'm not reliable. I'm biased.
The maintenance sector is the janitor domain. If I can find Ahti here, he can help me reach the override. Maybe it was you who got me into the oldest house with the lockdown on. Maybe it was Ahti. It felt like he made the elevator appear that took me to Trench's office. Is Ahti guiding me too? The directorial override is right there, in the control room. How do we get there?
Can you hear me now? Oh yeah, about the story. The only thing that's happened was we went to go grab this phone so we can hear the director clearly, the past one that died, and he explained that he had a management team who knows that knows the bureau's secrets. So now we're trying to get the lockdown lifted so we can go find one of them. Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs? Missing something? Oh, you. Dolphin noises. You love the swearing in SpongeBob? That's pretty funny. Spread reduction or recoil reduction? I think spread reduction is more useful.
What's down that way?
What's down that way? Oh crap! That scared the shit out of me.
Ugh, this place makes me nauseous.
Yeah, I hate sudden trips to the astral plane.
An object of power. How do you think it got down here? A carousel horse. Why is kid stuff always so
It isn't.
creepy?
I don't know why people think it is. Like, dolls aren't scary, clowns aren't scary, little girls aren't scary. Stop putting them in horror movies. Virtual teaching, that would have just made me lazier. Well, use evade dash to prove myself. Alright, I won't get crushed, I promise. Anime fan bases are scary. Gold enemies are immune to Jesse's attacks. Use evade to dodge. Gotcha. Me and the horse are now bound.
Let's see the hiss keep up with me now.
I learned to dodge. Electrical engineering, that's pretty cool. I majored in culinary arts. My college had a good culinary arts program. Associate in science, cool. What's this?
Step into the FBC, there's lots to do, there's lots to read, but you don't touch and don't scream much. Let's join the Threshold Kids. Let's join the Threshold Kids.
What?
Hey, man! What are you drawing? I'm drawing a dog!
I'm drawing the pyramid.
The what?
The pyramid.
What's a pyramid?
This a kid show?
The Black Pyramid. It's in the astral plane.
Airplane?
Astral plane. It's big, white, and empty. Or is it? It's a weird, crazy alien dimension. The white goes on forever. You can get lost in all
It's time to
that
stop?
white
What do you mean? This is the best
and
show ever.
never find your way back home.
I miss my home.
The show would be canceled? You said pause? Yeah, I was thinking of a joke when you said it's big, white, and endless, and empty. I was like, okay. Looks like they had a pretty low budget, but you guys know what the astral plane is now. I don't have to explain it. That was perfect.
Well done. You got the job. It's place for congratulations. Yippee, saatana. It happened in the last drop.
What?
I truly need an assistant.
Funny thing is, I've been a janitor. I'm more at home in that role than as the director. Only Ahti here seems to see that.
Yeah, hi, Ahti. Look, we need to get the lockdown lifted, otherwise I can't get to the other sectors. Can you help me get to the override?
Yes, yes. Easy peasy. It's just around the corner. But first, we need to get you working. Very small, couple of hours job.
Something tells me it's gonna be more than that.
Yeah. You think there's a dog buried in this? I can tell you are not yesterday's grouses.
What country are you from, dog?
That's why you'll make a great assistant. Very well. I'll hit the facts on the table. Mä kyllä sanon perkele suoraan, että this house has a vermin problem. A bad one. They've already messed up the cooling pumps. And the power generators of a power plant, perkele. And the pensioner inside is starting to feel the band around his head tighten. The situation needs to be fixed before the plant blows up. And we all disappear like a fart in Sahara.
Did you just say fart in Sahara? I wasn't paying attention.
My best to keep up with this. Fix the coolant pumps and the power generators, otherwise the power plant will blow.
But don't you worry. I've left you clear instructions. You'll catch the end of the thread before I go to my vacation. The work's on the task board here. You can do later.
I'm not your assistant, buddy.
Vacation? Right.
Yes, no one's gonna cancel my holiday or seat's gonna rattle. But don't worry at all. You'll take care of it and soon this crisis gonna be last.
This guy's from
winter's
Jamaica?
snow.
I don't think so.
You better go now, so you don't have to run with your head as your third leg. The door in the back leads to the...
So about your vacation.
The door in the back.
About your vacation. We're on
Thank you,
lockdown right now, so it's not like you could leave. Ahti better get mad paper after cleaning this business every day. I'm sure he's well compensated. That actually got me wondering. I feel like being a janitor would be an underrated job. Well, it requires some manual labor. It doesn't actually require any hard work, right? And you don't have to deal with other people. I feel like I would like being a janitor. Just me, though.
Okay, so what happens again if that thing blows up?
Power. Explosion.
Power explosion too much.
Director's duty.
Director's duty.
Keep the lights
Keep
on.
the lights on. Alright, what do you actually say, though? I don't have it yet.
Northmoor was director before me. I never wanted
Hey,
this
we have something in
job.
common.
I never wanted power. I purposefully avoided it. Didn't trust it. Didn't want to rely on it. Northmoor was all about power. A man like an explosion, hungry for authority, for order, for more, until it was too much. I had to find a solution in the end. Contain the situation. Northmoor never liked me. but he went along with it, to his credit. He didn't really have a choice. I suppose at the end of the day, a director's most basic duty is to keep the lights on. Here's to you, Northmore. There were no prime candidates waiting in the wings, but I was there. Had been the whole time, keeping my head down, working my ass
Hey, you
off.
got a promotion for it.
I had nothing to lose.
Except for your life.
I picked up the gun almost on a dare.
I don't know what that had to do with the power plant, but I'm glad he enlightened me on that. An object of power escaped the Panopticon a couple weeks ago, and they want everyone to keep an eye out for it. If anyone sees a merry-go-round horse zipping around the sector, alert me immediately. Do not try to contain it on your own. And definitely don't bind yourself to it. Oops. 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 Already binded myself to that. Should've left that memo upstairs, buddy. You would hate being a janitor? Why is that?
It's dangerous out here, lady. Go see Chief Arish. He's just inside. He'll help you.
Ma'am! Hey! Chief Arish, FBC Security. Shouldn't you be in
Hold
a
on
safe...
a second. Security matters. Not important. Janitor at a school specifically? Why that? I'm your boss now, by the way.
They all have HRAs. We're on the same side.
My name is Jesse Faden. I'm here to perform the directorial override to get the lockdown lifted.
Yeah, Chief Arish, FBC Security. I'm just... Oh, hang on, you're the new
That's
director.
correct. Show me some respect.
It's a pleasure, ma'am.
Let's skip the formalities.
Now I want him to call
please.
me ma'am.
Right. Faden, ma'am. Look, as you can probably tell, it's a bit of a shit show down here. We've been holding our ground, but whatever's gotten into our buddies has them wrecking the coolant pumps and the power converters. The NSC keeps overheating, and my crews keep getting shot before they have a chance to make any repairs.
NSC?
Oh, sorry. Bureau jargon. It's what we call the power plant. You know, the big rumbling metal thing? Salvador, head of security, asked me to protect it in case of an attack. See, what's inside is dangerous. Dr. Darling seemed to know it would be a target.
Darling? He's here?
No, he came down a few days ago, before everything went to hell. He was out of it. Smelled like a bar mat. He was ranting about vulnerabilities and how he only had one large-scale HRA, but that he needed it somewhere else. Still, at least he gave us these personal HRAs before he left. Hey, did I mention that he was tearing his clothes off?
What happened to Darling?
Darling knew the hiss was coming.
Listen, I love playing 20 questions as much as the next guy, but we have got to get the water and electrical systems repaired before this baby blows. I'll have my guys.
What have you guys been doing?
Here for you.
I'll take care of it. You stay and keep the hiss away from the plant if you can.
The hiss? That's what we're calling him? Oh, that's catchy. Oh, listen, the radios aren't working, so if you find my boss Salvador out there, could you please ask him what the plan is? I'm sure he will have one by now.
I'll keep an eye out for him.
He sure has a lot of faith in his boss.
Try to stay alive.
Tab to open map, gotcha. Coolant pumps, energy converters. I will do the coolant pumps first. Oh shit! Damn. Kamikaze enemies. They somehow cornered me. Does anyone work without the protagonist around? It's just like real life. No one does work unless the boss comes in. It's like, hey, how are you guys doing? Okay.
Power cut. Replace the parts.
Adi, you have telepathy? How are you talking to me? The little steam achievements are starting to be annoying, but I mean... Oh, no, a flying guy. Come on, look at his health. Got him.
This place is
No,
gonna
it's
come
not.
down.
Relax. Alright, what is needed here?
Fix it.
Yeah, I'm on it, I'm on it.
If the plant goes wrong, you can throw the spoon.
Spoon in the corner. What euphemisms are these? Come on. I always wanted telekinesis. It's always been one of the coolest powers ever. But if I had a choice of any power, I definitely would be able to teleport. That's without a doubt the most useful power in the universe. Seems like it's everybody.
Shit. What now?
My old enemy, the Glock, is blocking the
Enemy
pipes.
to clog?
You need to deal with
I had to deal with it, of course.
He is very clever. He's trying to sneak in. We got him caught with his hand in the fist.
He's not sneaking at all. He's right here. Depends on how you're able to teleport.
What the hell is
You would take
that?
Momo's power from My Hero.
It's the most disgusting
She's
thing
the
I've ever
creation girl,
seen.
right? Yeah, Audi has to clean all this up. You tell me this man isn't making bank? It's cap. You make enough money not to be caught, but to live comfortably. I feel like there's better things you could do with that to make money legally. Or you could just make gold or something and then sell that. But I guess if you make more gold, it ruins the market value it has in the first place. And it makes it less valuable if you make more gold. So I guess you would have to use it to make money. But I feel like with all the serial numbers and stuff, if you ever try to spend any of it, or if you try to put it in an ATM, they'll be like, huh, this Nick guy seems to be making counterfeit bills. You would not believe how crazy forensics gets these days. Alright, I'm lost. Oh. Exit's right in front of me.
We need to hurry.
Don't worry, I got it. Coolant pumps are fixed.
There go the pipes. Nothing more satisfying than manual labor.
Invisibility in there. Then would you you're gonna use it to peep on women? That's what you're gonna do? Oh, is that a boss fight? Mini boss. Let's go. I have the high ground. Give it up. I threw a battery at him. Do you feel the power? Trooper second class Kopek. Sorry to say this, but as the director, I hereby fire you because you've been taken over. Specifically Joe from Hunter x Hunter. Don't know who that is. Was that the iguana guy? Iguanaquai. Yeah, okay, I remember him. How many of these guys are there? Damn. I mean, we only employ so many agents here, right? There can't be an endless amount of hiss for them to take over. like Superman powers. See, I feel like all those powers are cool, but I feel like I don't really fight in real life, so I feel like most of those powers would be useless. Other than flying, obviously, but I mean like X-ray vision too. That'd be pretty cool. See, power energy converters. I'm on it. I hate you. Die. I would use my X-ray to look through toy cereal boxes. I mean, that is not a bad idea, actually. You guys ever watched Disastrous Life of Psyche K? That show's pretty good.
Just hold together a little longer.
My top two are like either telekinesis or teleportation, like I said earlier. I could use both of those since they're not exclusively useful in fights. No, you heard it's good? Dude, you should check it out. It's on Netflix. This is the mold room, right? I can't go in here. Not without dying. Yeah. I knew it, but I still went in there anyway. I had to make that mistake. Yeah, the thing with telekinesis is like you can use it to fight, right? But you could also use it just to get the remote, fly around, mess with people.
You need to fix it before the old big man's inside the plant has a shit fit.
It's not long at all. It's only like 2 seasons. And then like a couple episodes after that. And it's not a serious show. It's like a comedy show where it's like a sitcom like Friends, but not a sitcom. It's like an anime. Like the format's like a sitcom where it's like a bunch of episodes that aren't really connected to each other. Limit on telekinesis. Well, I guess I have to use it while focused. And with teleportation, the limit would just be I have to know exactly where it is I'm teleporting, I guess. If I had to put limits on it. Like, I can't just teleport to Japan without ever been there or knowing where it is exactly. But honestly, I would use teleportation to go to work from home and move around my house faster. It's like the only thing I would use it for, so I'm fine with that. You guys are so lucky I don't have levitate yet. your head. There we go. That's not a battery. Oh, my aim got way better.
Lift the lockdown.
A good defense, investigate the training course. I need that. Did I pass it by? Where's the training course? Hold on. Missions. I'm gonna track this real quick. Oh, it's all the way over there. Documents. I lost it. What was I looking at? Threshold Kid, Astral Planes, AWE report, hotline, object of power, case files, reports. This is just the enemy thing. Let's cleanse this place of hissing noises.
To protect them, forces contain a lockdown. Only be lifted by a directorial override.
This is what we came here to do.
What was he trying to say, for real?
So much is expected from the director.
I'm the only one who can do anything.
Responsibility, the privilege to steer the Bureau into dangerous waters and safely out again. To inspire and lead its people. To protect them.
I'm an inspiration.
The board is there to advise you, but they want things in return.
As most people do.
You hold all this in your old, trembling hands. I had to lose everything before I could see the Bureau is the director's life. There's no room for anything else. If the forces contained here escaped, we'd be dragged back into an age of superstition, terror, death. Assuming you think we ever really left that behind. Any emergency, any major containment breach, and the lockdown goes into effect. I implemented this security measure in my first year.
It took that long?
Director.
What if something happened way before then?
I'd personally seen the cost of sloppiness. I made sure the internal lockdown could only be lifted by a directorial override, only to be used when the director is confident the sectors are safe to be opened again. This way, the director is the last line.
You don't like relying on others, by the way.
And if I screw up, it's on me. And
You gotta have friends, dude. Well, you're dead now, but still. it to the end. Facts.
That's it. The other sector should be open now.
No.
I think it's time I told Emily
What's
why
happening?
I'm here. I'll risk it. You two should get to know each other.
After hearing his voice again, I'm definitely confident that was the guy that was voicing Thomas Zane in Alan Wake 2, by the way. Sounds exactly like him. Book Club Lopez, unless you... Book Club, I don't care about that. What was that noise? It scared the shit out of me. Abilities. Okay, I gotta upgrade some of the other abilities when I have more ability upgrades. Let's see, maintenance. Where am I trying to go to? Thresholds. The oldest house is a place in flux. Thresholds appear with no right warning. What the threshold will contain in question can only be answered once it manifests. What the hell's a threshold? Blackrock processing. Maybe another time. Right now I'm trying to go do field testing. I believe this is where that mission was. Ooh, documents. I love documents. Field training actor complaint. I like to file a formal complaint. The unauthorized use of my voice in the state quality I did not agree on. The facts we're planning to use blah blah blah. I don't care about this.
So I just read this.
They didn't edit that part out.
Ranger
Come on.
Field training course. The course must be completed in the specified amount of time. When you're ready to start, press the button. Is that all, or?
I always did
Get
love
ready,
obstacle
Ranger.
courses.
Course starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. "60 seconds remaining."
No, I ran out of energy.
30 seconds.
It was just 60 seconds. No way, 30 seconds passed that fast. Come on, energy, come back, come back, come back. Five seconds, no.
Remaining.
Whoa.
Congratulations, Rainer.
Guessing this isn't usually part of the course.
It's an object of power. I got it, Jesse.
It's protecting. I need to hit it harder to break that shield.
There it is. The copies have been given weapons. Showed yourself to pass the level. Gotcha. New power. I love it. That was fast. Well, I knew it was here. And this is like the one power up in the game you can miss. This is why I was trying to find it. It's actually pretty useful too. This is like one of those games where certain enemies can like do like 90% of your health in one attack if you fuck up. So I'm out of energy. Give me your energy. Oh wait, I'm done with the course. Sweet. Is this a story or DLC? Nah, this is the story. Just a power up that's very useful. Wait, my health.
Good time to have a shield.
They're not shooting at me. There it is. Give me your health. That was fast. Yeah, my first try took me like 5 billion hours. Alright. Now that we have that, time to head to the research sector. Named enemies present a tougher challenge, but yield better results. So they're like not fodder. They're real people. Research. Oh wait, this is the place with the ashtray maze in it, right?
Welcome to the research sector of the Federal Bureau of Control. I'm Dr. Casper Darling, head of research. Somebody thought this video would make for great internal communications. I'm looking at you, Mr. Tomasi. So,
rest in peace, Tomasi.
This is where the magic happens. Anyway, I've been here for 24 years now. I've always been here. And through those years, we've made astonishing discoveries, authored studies of grave importance, And in all this work, there is one thing we know, and that's how little we truly know. Rest assured, we're committed to keep pushing the known laws and borders of reality, and to make the Bureau proud. So, welcome. Assuming you have the necessary clearance, and do follow the safety protocols. Read the manual. Otherwise, bad things will happen.
So would you guys work here? In the Federal Bureau of Control? Okay, that's new. They're in chairs. Oh, I had a pun for that one. I just threw a bench at him. Oh, there's another bench around. No, that's a trash can. Okay, I missed. Damn it. Plants complaints. Hey, so I was just wondering about the plants and research. Is it really necessary to sing to them? I mean, the janitor does have a nice voice and the plants sure seem to like it. Maybe he could just switch it up a bit. I'm getting pretty tired of the tango. And where do these plants even come from? No one seems to remember when they were planted, and people like them a bit too much if you ask me. Are we being invaded by houseplants? Worth looking into. Dr. Lewis. Dude is way too suspicious, but I guess the other memo said there's no such thing as being too suspicious.
Fielding questions recently regarding HRAs. What are they for? Do you always need to wear them? And what's the deal with the Hadron?
This is totally different energy from the other videos, bro.
Fuck. Despite what you may have heard, HRAs are not monitoring devices. We're not tracking your movements or listening to your conversations while you're wearing them. We do that regardless whether or not you're wearing an HRA.
The government spies on us, guys.
Think of them as a life preserver. Only instead of water, the thing HRAs protect you from is classified. One day that classified, not water, might pour in, and you'll be glad you got an HRA keeping you afloat. And if you don't have an HRA, don't worry. It'll be quick and painless. Kidding.
It won't be quick and painless, is what he's kidding about.
We're making more.
Not reading that. Whoa. What happened? Dimensional research? Possible changing labyrinth. Can never pass through. Oh yeah, here it is. that bad. Darling seemed a bit rough there. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm averse to using objects of power. I don't want to lean on things I ultimately can't trust. But the ashtray and the cigarette, smoking there forever, have their uses. The ashtray maze they conjure is an impossibly changing labyrinth that no one but the Binder, and those the Binder invites, can ever pass through. The things we hid in dimensional research, the things Darling studies, the danger and the risk involved, call for every measure of security and protection I could bring to the table. The maze, hands down, is our strongest lock. I gave Darling and his chosen crew license to pass through the maze. Lately, I've started to think I should revoke that license.
I mean, what's in dimensional research that they're using such a where's the they're using a maze like this to guard it? Let's go through. Oh. I guess I don't have access. Alright. Alright, I wasted enough time. Let's get what I was doing here in research. I was looking for Marshall. She went to secure the HRA production so they have more life preservers. I have the high ground, guys. Cafeteria, parapsychology. Where am I going? I don't have the main quest. I don't have the main quest tracked. Speak with Emily. I wasn't supposed to be here yet. Damn. See, kids, this is why. You never listen to me. I'm just an idiot. I have to go all the way back up to the elevator. I'm gonna ignore you guys. Whoa. Computer just made a really loud noise for some reason.
They're saying Trench was shot dead. The situation's getting worse.
I saw.
That's why I watch. Thanks, bro.
Trench and Darling are...
Astral construct spin. I can construct a spin already? I forget how fast you unlock power-ups in this game.
arguing a couple weeks ago.
Let me see here. Common mods don't...
Trench was furious. You don't think Darling...
Don't be stupid. What would the Bureau's golden child have to gain from killing the boss?
Plus, he couldn't kill him unless he picked up the service weapon. Let's see here. Take the shotgun off, put spin on. Do I have any mods I can put to this? Accuracy, reload speed, rate of fire. Sure. Feel if you watch because I'm more natural. Thank you.
Jesse, you made it. And you lifted the internal lockdown.
Let's talk, Emily. Listen, Emily. Screw it.
Just tell her.
Tell her.
No cap.
I haven't been completely
A little bit of cap.
honest. I have a younger brother, Dylan. When we were kids, we found an old slide projector in Ordinary's landfill. The slides created doorways to other places. Bad things happened. Came through. That's all she gets. The rest stays locked inside. But we found help. Through one of the doorways, we met something. A being.
A being? What kind of being?
It's hard to describe, but she helped us. We managed to turn the projector off. The bad things that came through the doorways were gone. After that, your people came. Tried to grab us. I ran away. They got Dylan. I left him behind.
Bureau agents took your brother?
Yes. You covered it up. No one believed me.
And
I just want to find Dylan. I've been looking for him ever since.
What happened to the slide projector? It sounds like another object.
you guys probably have it.
I thought you took it. The Bureau. Along with Dylan.
I've never heard of it. But around here, I assume everything's classified. You know, I looked into the Ordinary AWE case files after you mentioned it. Trench and Darling were both involved.
Is that
a large area of the containment sector was reserved for it. The case hasn't been active for a long time. I have no idea if anything's still there. Can you tell me more about this being you found?
Let's hope you two get along. She's been with me ever since Ordinary. In my head. She led me to you. I call her Polaris.
As in a guiding star. Did Polaris know about the hiss? If she got you in here in spite of the lockdown, she's very powerful. Which may help explain your test results. Your readings are incredible, Jesse. Now, cross-referencing them with the database, I found 2 matches in Darling's old classified files. Unfortunately, I can't access them beyond the file codes. But one was P6, referring to a prime candidate for a potential future Bureau director. This was logged years ago.
Dylan. Is that Dylan?
The other match is on something called Hedron, which must be connected to these Hedron resonance amplifiers somehow. All I know is that Marshall went to the research sector to secure the HRA production after the Hiss first attacked.
So, Marshall seems like our best lead.
Which I was already headed towards.
I need to go after her. How can
I was
get
already
to the
there.
research sector?
Use my key card. The sector elevator will take
Oh,
you
you have level 3 clearance. I would have needed that.
Marshall is the next step.
What does Emily do besides holding the
What
board?
Emily told me about Ordinary, my powers being connected to
She does
things
research.
in
She's
Bureau's
a
past.
Darling's assistant.
I am so close to something. Do you feel it? Something's coming.
We take turns to come for a visit. I helped you. You owe me.
Oh, you. How about you get to keep your job?
And
I'm the
when time
director.
comes, I will come calling.
Hi.
Hi, Jesse.
Where's Darling?
I keep finding traces of Darling, but still can't find him. Where could he be?
But he's usually in his office in research or one of his labs. Dr. Darling has quite a few all around the Bureau. Could be hiding in any one of them. I check myself, but I don't have access to most of them.
Sounds like I touched a nerve.
He didn't let you into his labs?
Not all of them, no. Some had volatile material. It's ridiculous. I mean, this whole place is
Yeah, that's pretty
volatile
weird.
material. Could have at least thought up a more convincing lie. I mean, how can I work without access to all the data possible?
Don't worry. When this is over, I'll give you the most promotion-ish of promotions, and you'll be able to go wherever you want.
This place has a bad habit of moving around, huh?
So you notice the building shifts. Did you know that 39% of Bureau accidents are
That's
caused
not even a
by the
majority.
shifts? It's true. I ran the numbers myself.
So they're dangerous.
Oh, very. Yet one time, a shark got shifted into a meeting room along with over 2,000 gallons of water. It was a tiger shark. Darling's pet research project. I forget what he was researching.
Why do you have a shark in the building?
How do people work here?
That's a pretty weird story.
What exactly is the Ocean View Motel?
That's a bigger question than you might think. You see, I have extreme doubts that the motel is a single place. I mean, look at all the doors inside it. Where do they all go? We know that one door leads to the oldest house, but how come we can only ever open that one door? Maybe to open a door, you have to have entered through it. So if every door leads to a different dimension, plane, reality, whatever you want to call it, then I believe that the motel is firm proof that parallel universes exist.
Does Darling agree with that?
I haven't told him yet. I'm waiting until I can prove it.
Okay.
You said you're an assistant?
Oh, it's just a title. I'm a scientist, a researcher. I work for Dr. Darling. See, when Bureau agents go out in the field, the sites of altered world events, we study the materials, the altered items they bring back. It's always something we've never seen before, and studying them requires
Most
new
promotion-ish of
instruments,
promotions.
methodologies,
That's right.
sometimes entirely
I'm making
new
her
fields
the
of
head
science.
scientist if Darling
Emily really loves her job.
survives.
See, there's no
or doesn't
guidebook
survive.
for what we do here. Everything that happens at the Bureau, including the science, is without precedent.
Control points.
What can you tell me about control points?
They're nexus points of the oldest house's unique energies. Now, I wrote a 30-page proposal hypothesizing that we could siphon energy directly from them. Darling didn't even get through the first page before he
Must have
turned
been
it in.
trash.
Right. And, has anyone ever used them to teleport around?
What? No. What? I mean, you mean physically? No, not that I've ever heard of. Why?
Because
That's not just an
how they
in-game
work
thing. You
for
can
me.
actually teleport.
What? Really? Oh my god. More tests.
Let's hold off on the tests until later, okay?
Okay. It's just, wow. I mean, this blows my control point theories right out of the water.
Just like
I
your
love
One
it.
Piece theories, probably.
See you soon.
Be careful out there.
Like seeing all the dead bodies and not caring. Did you not hear about the time a shark got teleported into a board meeting? Weird shit happens here all the time.
I heard the Hiss attacked the power plant. Brings up a lot of... questions. Are they communicating? Coordinating? What about the plant attracting them?
The power plant is largely confidential.
I never really used the melee, so I'm not too fussed on upgrading it.
No use guessing the Hiss's motives if we don't even know what kind of
Fast
energy
travel.
uses.
What do you...
I didn't know it was actually teleporting. I thought it was just a gameplay mechanic. See, I never cleansed any control points in research, so I can't fast travel there.
It has to be a fusion reactor. There's no other way to create...
But why is it so weird? Nobody cares. They care. All the employees seem expendable. Well, yeah. That's what it's like in all government agencies. Or that's what it feels like. You just threw a rocket at me, you're dead. I love the launch ability. No! You're guessing this is a more advanced future? Actually, I think this takes place in the present day. Like, well, when this game came out, it was 2019. Wasted. Yeah, I don't know. I tried to press Q, but I was out of energy, and I didn't think I would run out of bullets before he died. He just kind of refused to die there in the end. It's almost like trying to kill a Roadhog in Overwatch. I'll hit you with this. What the hell am I holding? That's just a piece of debris at that point. I don't know what that is. Oh, I grabbed the rocket. I grabbed the rocket. Bye, bitch. I have a shield. get this woman a shield. Rocket guy has to go. You have to go. Good job, young Jedi. Also use guns. Yeah. What the? I'm not killing a rocket guy. Where'd you come from? You pick up all this stuff. Let's see here. If I get any cool personal mods. Well, level 2-1, show cost energy, evade energy cost, energy recovery. Is it worth giving up the hell for the energy? Let's see what I have here. Yeah, I think I'll change to dodge efficiency. Jedi who also uses guns. Call me Seer.
She's in trouble. I need
Don't
to
worry,
reach
I
her.
got it. Class is in session. So I threw a whiteboard at her. Fire a rocket at me, I dare you. Watch me catch it. See this grenade? Up. You wouldn't disrespect me by calling me Seer? Seer is cool. You guys are just haters. Ooh, a mod.
The astral plane. Similar to an iceberg, what you see is not what you always get. Regardless, this place is vitally important to the Bureau. Most information on the astral plane is classified, but we can talk in broad strokes, keeping in mind that these are
Alan versus Jesse. Jesse wipes the floor with Alan.
Simplification does them no justice. Now, the white non-space.
Actually, does Alan have the typewriter?
present
And is he in the lake?
Black pyramid. The board, all linked, intrinsically tied to the oldest house, tied to the director, the process of choosing a director, tied to all objects of power in terms of who controls them. Yes.
Look how much energy he had here versus the last time we saw him. Alan writes her out of the story. He's just like Jesse Faden trips on a rock and dies. But what if Jesse was the editor? You are a worm through time. You are a worm through time.
An early hypothesis was that the mindscape of the astral plane is subjective. But that was fast proven wrong. It's an actual place, not a construct of the mind, even though it is with our minds that we enter and experience it. But then one could argue that that's the case with all reality. We've been able to record footage of the astral plane by monitoring the brain activity of those experiencing it. That is the only concrete material that has come out of the astral plane expeditions. Apart from one shocking exception. In the astral plane footage, were always in the vicinity of the pyramid. We've concluded that this, not the entire plane, is what the board controls. We have glimpsed movement, native species, always in the distance, and yet contact was made.
Oh, wow.
We don't have footage of this, a technical malfunction, but when one of our astronauts returned, a brain cloud, an astral fugue, had hitchhiked a ride in his head. It ruptured out, killing the subject in question. It's a relentless predator, pursuing thoughts, minds, lethal to those the entity feeds on. Proper containment protocols are to be observed when dealing
That's
with
kind of scary. Yeah, never work here.
I can't believe they keep that.
Oh, it's the thing from the astral plane. I can't touch it. Perfect. The Christmas lights without plugs are OP. That's true. Oh man, I hope you guys aren't epileptic. Oh, there's the other battery. Shit. Come follow me, follow me, follow me, follow me. There we are. Close it in. No, it got out. Gonna wait till I take damage and I'm gonna just haul ass. Alright. Yeah, you're stuck in there now, bitch.
What was the Bureau doing with that thing?
None of my business, but I guess it kind of is since I'm the director.
Someone answer, damn it! We need backup down here.
Marshall, are you still there?
No.
Shit. We're so close. We need
That's
to hurry.
facts, you do need to hurry. This plus risk shield the enemy makes. So harder to fight. What's happening there? She's trying to find her brother, right? Yeah. Stop spamming grenades, idiot. Why did I take down my Overwatch stream? I didn't take it down, I just had it unlisted. If you have the link, you can still get to it. Oh, wait. Investigate the X-ray box in the hypnosis lab? Sure. Sure. I'm kind of in a hurry right now, but sure. I'll do that. Let me cleanse this bitch. I can't cleanse it. Is there still enemies out there? Did I miss somebody? There you are. Yeah, sorry, I promised to go to the hypnosis lab. Is that where it is? No, I was here earlier. What's up, guys?
I see it. Another object of power? They're just standing there, mesmerized by it.
What are you guys doing? Get back to work! They don't seem to care. Newton Bowles. Alright, this was super confusing when I first did it. But don't worry, guys, I got this.
Please state your name for the record.
Paul Warren, Astromark, first class.
And you are aware that exposure to the astral plane can result in death, disability, personal injury, corporeal entanglement, cognitive collapse, loss of ego,
partial to full dementia?
Yeah. I am.
And you acknowledge that your use of the astral conduit, aka the X-ray light box, is purely voluntary.
Yes, I do.
Perfect. Your suit is good? Okay, you're all set. Open the door for Mr. Warren, please.
Alright. Might have partial to full dementia from coming in here, but whatever. Died. See, I know where my mistake was. I tried to attack that guy when I should have attacked the not golden guy. Where's the other guy? These are not the droids you're looking for. Jedi mind trick. I'm actually a Jedi now. Kill him. Come on, beat him up. I can't attack him. I let all the homies fall? Don't know what you mean. Can you guys beat the thing already so I can get out of here? Good work playing. I'm now bound to the X-ray. Sweet. More power. More power. I have like 5 objects bound to me though. Is that safe? What happened to them?
Their brains were fried when I took over the
Rip.
object.
All your families will get letters. That's all I can offer you. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. That was actually a word I wasn't supposed to use. You are a worm through time. Where was I headed? Towards... Oh yeah, this place. Let me see here. Does this restore my health? It does. I'm just gonna pretend like I didn't leave you for a couple.
Marshall, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear
The
you.
new director.
Who is this?
My name is Jesse Faden. I'm coming to help.
Faden. Hold on. I'm setting the elevator for you. We need to talk.
You got that right.
How can I deliver letters to the families and everything is confidential?
More of you? Really?
Well, you see, the thing is, those guys' family probably isn't confidential. They probably weren't important enough to be confidential. So. What are we doing? Oh yeah, waiting on the elevator.
Trench said his team knows all the Bureau's secrets. Marshall, especially.
You know she
know
does.
What happened to Dylan?
Oh, you're a good guy.
Marshall is waiting for you in the Luck Lab, just down the hall.
You guys seem to have everything under control under here. What was that panicking about earlier? Rubber duck supplement? Don't even want to know what that's about. Aren't rubber ducks banned? Wasn't that on the list of banned objects? Case files. Any objects considered iconic representation of archetypal concepts, AEG rubber duck ketchup bottles. Okay. Dying a mysterious death at a random building would be suspicious? It would be. You just say that they died fighting for their country, and that what they died for is confidential. But they died in the service of their country. That was like a Death Note I read earlier. That was like that. It was like, know that they died serving their country. Alright, good to see some regular people.
There you are. I was
Alright, tell me everything, or you're fired. I can do that now because I'm the director.
Congratulations on your appointment, Director Phaeton. I'm Helen Marshall, head of Bureau Operations. Zachariah's dead then. And
Yep.
I assume you found his gun.
Just call me Jesse. Trench told me to find you. He said you could help.
And he told
Correct.
you this through the hotline.
No, it
Makes
doesn't, but
sense.
sure.
None of this phases her?
She's been here for like
Really?
17 years, right?
Here's the situation. Darling created the HRAs in a lab nearby. We need more if we're gonna survive this attack. My rangers can't secure the lab alone, not against those things. We need more firepower.
You guys need the
At least
protagonist.
She seems to know what's going on here. She could know about Dylan.
I can clear out the hiss. I'll be your firepower.
That's a good answer.
Is
No, she knows I'm the protagonist.
Darling has systems in place to protect his labs. This should help you get past them. We'll talk more after you clear out the hiss. Rangers.
You forgot to
head up
ask about
through.
your brother.
We'll have to lock the door behind you. Sorry. but
Reach,
we
you guys
can't-
are wearing HRAs.
I see Rangers over there. We have to help them.
Don't worry, I'm on it. Things have been healed. There you are. Where's the cluster at? There it is. Keep firing at it. Where'd it go now? Where'd it go now? Gonna take over that explodey guy. You guys alright? Where'd my team go? They all die? Turn your back for 1 second. Oh great, a boss fight? Not the Parkinsiology chief. How's he launching stuff? I'm the one who has the bound thing. Oh, he's dead. Who else is here? Just have to get the hang of the game. So you know what? I'm actually about to end the stream here. I'd like to thank you guys for coming out. I don't know when the next time I'll stream is though. Might be tomorrow, might not be. I appreciate you guys for sticking through with this. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace out. Thank you guys for showing up.